Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream. First one in a little while. Apologies, guys. Been a bit ill. Been quite ill over the last week. Energy levels are still a little bit low, which is why I'm doing this and I'm not at the game tonight. But yeah, we're gonna test this out and see how we get on. But yeah, I'm feeling like I can probably manage this. Loads to get into as always, people. Pochettino has come out fighting, ahead of tonight's game, saying that, he's never going to quit as manager and that fans are never going to love another manager as much as him. There's been a lot going on. He's come out fighting these last few press conferences. It really feels like he's starting to take the fans on. There are some things that I agree with him on, others that perhaps I don't agree with as much. We've also got links with supposed reports coming out of Spain linking Chelsea with a possible move for Michel, the Girona manager, if they obviously do decide to replace Mauricio Pochettino at the end of the season. We've got Malo Gusto speaking about how much he enjoys working with the gaffer. What else has been going on? Chelsea are in talks with Riyadh Air, Bank of America and Malaysia Airlines over the possibility of being the front of shirt sponsor for next season, with Infinite Athletes deal only running until the end of this current season. We've also got news that come out last night that Chelsea's CEO was asked if he supported Chelsea, and he said he wasn't really a football fan, and he refers to the game as a product and the fans as customers. That's an interesting position to be in. Ben Jacobs reporting that Thomas Tuchel still feels hurt by his Chelsea exit. There's a lot to get into, guys. There's a lot to unpack, as well as the co-founder of the Rain Group saying that if they hadn't got the deal done when they did, then Chelsea probably would have gone into liquidation and there would have been catastrophic consequences. So, lots of positive stuff to get into, guys. And obviously got the game tonight as well, which I'll share my thoughts briefly on. But yeah, big up to everyone that's locked in, guys. Please make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, all that good stuff. Let's run these likes up as quickly as possible. On 13 already, there's 29 in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's say hello to a few people and then we will dive into some stuff. With 10 games left of the Premier League season, who do you think will win the league, City or Liverpool or Arsenal? I still think City. For me, I've said it from day one, and I've got no reason to change my mind. But it won't be Bo's decision. Yes, big up. Happy birthday to King Didier. Yeah, King Didier turns 46 today. What a guy. Yes, Michael, big up. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Chelsea celebrated their 119th birthday yesterday. I'm not really too sure. It's the first time I've missed a game at Stamford Bridge in a long, long time. So, it's going to feel a little bit weird. But unfortunately, health must come first. And, that's where we're at. But, I can imagine it's going to be on edge tonight. Vital we get an early goal. We can't afford to go one goal down. Things will definitely take a turn for the worst on that one. We need to win if we don't win. Yeah, agreed. We were lucky last time we faced an injured new. Yeah, look, we were lucky. We kept going till the end, but obviously we got a little bit lucky with the mistake from Trippier. Good finish on Mudryk, and then the penalties. We were spot on. Yes. No point bringing in anyone in now. No, there's no point now. Yes, big up. Do you think we will ever be good again? Yeah, of course we will. Football's cyclical. Chelsea are not going to be this shit forever. Football's cyclical, so I don't see us being down in the dumps permanently. No. There were other buyers. There were other buyers, but they weren't the chosen party. I don't think it's referring specifically to Clearlake's purchase. I think it just means getting the deal done in general, regardless of who the buyer was. Must-win game, yes. We might draw. Yeah, we might draw. To be honest, I'll probably take a draw right now. I mean, I did predict a draw in my before in the match preview. So I'm sticking with a draw. I'd love us to win this game. Of course I would. But from what I've seen in recent weeks, I can't see us winning personally. So, but hopefully I'm wrong. I'm a lot better, mate, but still not well enough to go to the match. I think I'm well enough to do this, but not well enough to be attending the game. So as I was saying, first match I'm going to miss at Stamford Bridge in quite a while. I'd take a point. Absolutely agree on that. But guys, let's dive into it then. Let's dive into it. This is a massive massive game tonight, and Pochettino has come out fighting. He's come out fighting with comments released from the embargoed section of the press conference. So that's the part of the press conference there you get better answers. It's given to the written press, and Pochettino has come out fighting, saying, he has said he would never quit Chelsea and believes fans would not have any more love for a new manager than they do for him. The fans are not going to love another coach any more than me. It's a new project and people need to understand. I think he's got a fair point there. Today's a different project. It's a different Chelsea. If you're going to judge us analysing the situation, comparing it with the past of Chelsea, for sure, no one is going to succeed. For me personally, I've not understood why so many people are losing their shit at these comments. What he's saying is spot on. If whether it's media, whether it's fans, if we're constantly going to compare this Chelsea to the Chelsea of old, then no one is going to be a success. Absolutely no one's going to be a success, and no Chelsea fans are, and no manager is going to be taken to, because all that's going to happen is, there's going to call for the next manager's head when at the first sign of things going wrong again. We have to get to a point where we stop comparing this Chelsea to the Chelsea of old, because it's totally different, and we move on to a point whereby we realise that this is different, and until we get to that point, we're just going to go in a vicious cycle, which is not going to be helping anyone, and it's going to make it very, very difficult for anyone to be a success. I honestly think right now, Chelsea, for me, is almost an impossible club to manage, guys. Fans turn on managers so quickly. They've got no patience. They force out managers every year, and it can't go on. Whether you think Poch is or isn't the right man, and it kind of looks like he's not the right man at this point in time, this can't happen again. One day, guys, we're going to have to back a coach through bad results to get to success. At the first time of asking, we cannot keep calling for the manager to go and force a manager out. We have to get to a point where we're going to have to back a manager for a shit run of results in order to get success. That, unfortunately, is what's going to happen. That has to happen. That has to happen. So, it's utterly pointless constantly calling for managerial changes all the time. I really do believe right now the club is pretty much impossible to manage for those reasons that I've given. The fact that the fans turn so quickly on managers, clearly having no understanding of how long it takes to actually build a team. Zero patience. Every year we're forcing managers out. It simply can't continue, as I was saying. The next manager, whoever it is, presuming Pochettino goes at the end of the season, that can't happen with the next person. They have to be backed through bad results to get to success. Otherwise, we're never going to get anywhere, because at the first sign of failing, we're just giving up and starting again and hoping that we can stumble across the right person that doesn't hit a bad run of results. That, unfortunately, is not going to happen. Chelsea are a very, very difficult team to manage right now. Probably the hardest job in football. It really is. The fan base has got zero patience. It's an issue, and I don't have a problem with Pochettino. I really don't have a problem with him saying those things, because ultimately what he's saying is true. There's no denying it. If we constantly compare to the Chelsea of old, no manager is going to be a success here. No manager at all. The barometers are different now. The markers are different for this team. This is where we are right now. People need to understand, and I think people are either not understanding or they're choosing not to understand. They're either stupid or they're just choosing not to understand the situation. Yes, of course, we all want Chelsea to get back to what they used to be and winning the big trophies. Of course, everyone wants that. But right now, guys, to compare this Chelsea to the Chelsea of old is unfair. It's unfair, and it's completely pointless because it's not helping the situation in any sense whatsoever. It's not helping. I don't know what people are expecting. No, I understand that. Look, mate, I'd like to think that there are some rational and reasonable fans within the fan base, but the reality is, when we talk about Chelsea fans grasping the reality, unfortunately, very, very few do. Very few do, and that's part of a bigger problem here. Is that too much of this fan base don't understand how football works. I've got zero patience, and just act like spoiled, entitled people. And they just chuck their toys out the pram and call for a change at the first sign of things going wrong. That has to change. Yes, there are some people. Yes, there are rational people within the fan base. Of course, there are. But it's far outweighed by people that constantly just calling for change. You can't compare Bayern Munich with the Chelsea situation now. This is what people don't understand. Like, this is not a difficult thing to grasp. Like, Bayern Munich, when Flick took over, was a totally different situation to taking over at Chelsea. Bayern's always been successful. What do you mean he took over when Bayern weren't successful? When have Bayern not been successful? No, I might have titled some videos as a bit of the game's the game sort of thing. But no, I've never actively said that the manager must go now. I think it's heading towards a change at the end of the season. I've not seen enough from him this season to really warrant him to continue. But I want this to work. I want him to do well. I want him to turn things around, because ultimately, if he does, it means that Chelsea are doing well. And that's what we all want. We all want Chelsea to be successful. No manager will ever make me want Chelsea to lose games. Ultimately, people need to put their feelings about the manager to one side and focus on what the club needs. The club needs this manager to do well in the immediate short term. We need to win. It's as simple as that. We need to win. We need to get a result. If we were sick, I don't know. I think due to the Spurs connections, there's always going to be a success. There's always going to be a success. There's always going to be people that are not going to take to him, regardless of where we are in the table, because of the Spurs links. Some people just won't accept him. That's obviously their choice. I think it's a bit childish. Football's gone way too tribal in my opinion. It doesn't make sense why you would hate someone because they've managed somewhere else. I get it, there's rivalry and whatever, but ultimately, he's here to manage us now, and we do need to get behind him. There's no point people going to the game tonight with a load of negativity. You've got to turn up the ground and be positive, create a good atmosphere. All things that are within fans' control. But it feels like that isn't going to happen. I want us, Chelsea finished top 6, top 7 consecutive seasons under Ken Bates before Rowan took over. No, we did. But again, people need to realise that that's not comparable to the situation now. It's not. By no means am I sitting here saying that 11th place in the table is acceptable in fucking middle of March. No, it's not. No one's saying that. No one's saying that whatsoever. But no one's saying that's all right. But also, what I'm trying to say is that the first time that things go wrong, or we go through a difficult period of form, or things haven't quite happened for half a season or 3/4 of a season, the default reaction from the fan base can't just be to call for the managers to go. What, we're just going to keep appointing managers until we get it right? No, at some point, people have to be given time. And look, I know you're not going to build a team in 8 months. I get that. And I also understand that within the time period that Pochettino's been here, we should be seeing more of a clearer idea of how he wants to play. And we're not really seeing that. We've seen it in glimpses where you think, oh yeah, that's what he's trying to do. But we haven't seen it on a consistent enough basis. Simple as that. And my main point is that whilst, yes, he should be doing better and needs to do better, there's too many people within the fan base that just want a manager gone at the first sign of a bad run of form. That's not how this works. We're not going to be successful at all if we constantly call for the manager to go. Yes, that worked under Roman because, again, the lay of the land in the Premier League was totally different. It wasn't as competitive. And we had a squad that was ready to win straight away. It just needed a manager there. It didn't particularly need, a high level of coaching. Those guys were winners. It was the best squad in the league, or certainly within the top two. And that's why we got a way of doing it. This team needs coaching. This team needs time. And if we constantly rip it up and keep starting again every 7 to 8 months, then this project is not going to go anywhere at all. Yeah, okay, it might not go to where we think it's going to go if we give it time, but we need to at least give it time. I'm not saying that we should just blindly back a manager for no reason. And I get it, and I've said it myself. There's not enough things that have been from that Pochettino has shown. There's not enough things to say that he warrants backing. I get that, but then I also feel that, there is something in giving managers time and an opportunity to make things right. You shouldn't just be given the boot at the first time of things going bad. You should be given an opportunity to try and turn things around. I think we've got to be very careful here, because everyone thought that Graham Potter was the problem. It actually turns out he wasn't the main problem at all. A lot of people think Mauricio Pochettino is the main problem. He's not. If he leaves and the same problems persist, it's not going to be. People are going to be shocked that, do you know what? Pochettino wasn't the main problem. He's not the main problem. He never has been the main problem. Yes, he is part of the problem, but ultimately, as I've said, guys, until the structure above changes, it doesn't matter who the manager is. With this structure and with the way that the club is being run, no manager is going to be a success here. And that is a depressing thing to say, but that for me is my belief, and I think that is the reality of the situation in my opinion. That's my view on it. That until that structure changes above, it doesn't matter who the manager is. You're going to have there's going to be issues. And yeah, that is my thoughts. Let's see what people are saying here. I don't look. I think the fans are probably giving him fans a right to voice their frustrations. Things have not been good enough. People spend a lot of money to follow this team, and they expect better. 100% agree. I also agree with his comments. I also agree with these comments to a degree. What he's saying is not wrong. They're not going to love another coach anymore. Chelsea fans just love a coach until they stop winning, and then they hate them. It's a big problem in the fan base. My problem with Pochettino is his mentality. Yeah, look, that I agree. I don't think he's asking to be sacked. I think what he's saying is fair. I don't always agree with what he's saying, and it's probably better to shut up in some occasions. But yeah, I don't think what he's saying is wrong. This bad run of form has been showing all season. Look, we've not had an amazing season at all. But look, I think there's enough talented players within the group to be doing better. But ultimately, they're the ones that are performing as well. They're the ones out on the pitch, and too many of them have not been good enough either. The players deserve to be taking some of this blame as well. This is purely not on the manager. I don't believe that if you literally switch the manager, this group of players is suddenly getting a load more is being got out of this group of players. I don't think that's the case. I get it with the team manager, though, is 52 and has had time elsewhere. Worst winning percentage at PSG. Won nothing with. No one wins anything at Spurs. Yeah, Arteta had the FA Cup, of which he didn't manage half the games, and he got it handed to him by fucking Anthony Taylor. But yeah, yeah, agreed. Guys, there's a lot coming in. I'll try to get through as much as I can. But yeah. No, yeah, but the starting point is totally different. They've got top quality players. They've got established players. They've got players with experience, players with Premier League know-how, players with know-how, full stop. And Emery's coached them very, very well. it's a totally different situation. If you put Unai Emery at Chelsea, he's not doing what he's doing at Aston Villa because it's a totally different situation. Will the structure change? I don't know if the sporting directors will change. I just don't think it will. I just don't think it will. No, but this week is absolutely massive in terms of his future. Obviously, Newcastle tonight, and then of course we've got the FA Cup quarter-final against Leicester on Sunday. It's a massive week for him. If we were to go out the FA Cup, I think he's in big trouble, big trouble. The owners just do not take responsibility. Yeah, no, they're not. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Second Poch is not going to make us a team of world beaters. No, it's not going to make us a team of world beaters at all. Yes, it might make us a better coach, maybe more well-drilled side, but it's not going to suddenly see us become a top 4 team. It's not. It really isn't. And I think people need to maybe realise that the grass isn't always greener. There is something to be said for sticking with someone, sticking by someone. That kind of loyalty can be rewarded. And, and maybe it will be. Guys, big up to everyone that's locked in. 76 in the building. Make sure you're smashing those likes, guys. Only 33 likes. Come on, people. Run it up. Let's get this to 50 likes as quickly as possible. Nowhere near enough likes on the stream at the moment, guys. First one back in a while. So, yeah, guys, run it up, run it up. Let's get this to 50 likes. And please subscribe as well, guys. It's free. Takes seconds to do. Just click that thumb button. It helps spread the content. It helps boost me in the algorithm. So yeah, the more likes the content is, then the better it's going to be for me, and it really helps out. So please do, guys. The content manager can still not have us in 10th. United looks shit. No, I think mathematically they're still in contention, but I think top 4 has gone for them. But again, it's more the fact that they've got some match winners. They've got some experienced pros with know-how in there. They're not actually a better footballing side than us, but they've got that know-how and they've got that experience. The whole club changed from top to bottom. It would be impossible to be winning from the off. Yeah, it is. But I think, people think that should be happening. It's a really odd one. I personally don't understand it. I've never liked him. Fair enough. But I'm not asking people to like the manager, but people need to be behind the team. They need to be behind the team. That's the reality. It's been 8 months. Nothing has changed. I wouldn't say nothing's changed. Obviously, look, there's not been enough tangible progress, I don't think. There is context and there are circumstances to it. But ultimately, you'd like to have thought that we would be in a better position 8 months into Pochettino's reign than we're currently in. I think that for me is the reality of the situation. Poch feels like a stepping stone to try and develop young players. That's his track record, not winning trophies. I think that was probably the primary reason that he was brought in was to develop this young group of players, take them as far as he can. If he can win some trophies, great. And then someone else with a bit more experience, a bit more know-how in winning would then come and take the next slot, take us on to the next situation. If they really support Poch, why don't they come out and speak to the fans? Again, I think that's something that I would agree with. I think the ownership do need to come out and offer some form of communication. That is the reality of that's the reality of the situation. That would help put a lot of the speculation to bed, a lot of these rumours to bed. What else have we got going on here? Guys, there's so much coming in. No point sacking after the FA Cup. Season's probably dead. Then I think we can win it. We can win it if the manager can actually be competent for 3 games. Yeah, look, I still think the FA Cup is our best chance of European football next season. 100%, it is our best chance of European football next season. We're 3 matches away from Europa League football. Compared to, I think we've got 12 games left in the league, and we still got to play the likes of Arsenal, United, Spurs, Aston Villa, Brighton. Going to be very, very, very tough games. Yes, big up, big up. Yeah, Billy, hope you're doing well, brother. Everyone like it up. Yes, yes, yes. Big yourselves up. We've literally been crying out for a striker for years and still haven't managed to get one. No, we haven't. And that in itself is a major problem. Poch will be kept till the end and then replaced. He is the fool guy for their failed models and bullshit up top our board. Yeah, no, I agree. I think what we've got to realise, though, people, is that Clearlake and Bowley aren't going anywhere. It's 10 years. So what can happen, though, is a change in structure in terms of sporting directors and stuff like that. But yeah, I think, the ownership, the directors, the board, etc., will hide behind managers because they'll hide behind managers, and the managers will take the can for ultimately the sporting project being a failure. That's the reality of the situation in my opinion. This trophy narrative is nonsense. We're not winning anything with this current squad until they develop. Look, I think we can. We were better finishing away from winning the Carabao Cup, and we've got a very good chance of making the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So I don't think it's nonsense. This group can win trophies. We've proven that we can go toe to toe with some of the best sides. So yeah, all things are a possibility. No win tonight. Yeah. Come on, people, run it up. No, I'm going to get into that. That's not quite true. If you win the FA Cup, you get a slot in the Europa League. It might be qualifying rounds, but you get yourself a space in the Europa League. Yes, big up, brother. Poch, do less talking. I hear you on that front. I do hear you on that, and I think that sometimes that's fair. I hope Chelsea ruins Arsenal's title hopes. Yeah, it would be great, wouldn't it? But yeah, look, I think we're at a situation now where there are a lot of problems in at the club. The disconnect between club and fans is massive. There's obviously a strong dislike for the manager amongst a lot of the fan base. So yeah, it makes it a very very difficult situation to be in at this point in time. It's a difficult situation. I mean, I'm hoping that we can try and turn this around. I want to think we can, but it's gonna be a very very difficult. It's going to be very very difficult for this to happen. There are a lot of issues right now, people. There isn't any. That's the problem. You've got Thiago Silva. I mean, Raheem Sterling is meant to be a leader, but he doesn't show leadership to me. I mean, Enzo Fernandez has got a bit, but yeah. Other than that, you look at the leaders in the team, and there's not very many. There's next to none. This time 2 years ago, we were world and European champions. Now we're begging. Yeah, no, you got to enjoy the good times when you've got them, because, as you say, you never know when they're going to end. And you don't know when they're going to come back again. People keep talking about Pochettino. Bring on youth who? What does that mean? Bring on youth who? I don't understand that. Here's the thing. A lot of changes that need to be done aren't crazy like they looked last summer. But yeah, it's all very easy to say that. What elite director of football is there available that they'd actually go and get? You would describe would have described Pochettino as a competent manager. 3 to 4 experienced players at all 3 levels of the pitch. Spread across all 3 levels. Pochettino sub support. I agree on that. We'll get to that when we do it. No, I don't think that's the case. But I think what they do want to do is fund any summer spending by selling academy players. So raising the money by selling the likes of Chalobah, Gallagher, Broja, Martson, these sort of players. But no, we're not in a situation where we have to sell before we can spend. That absolutely isn't the case as far as I'm aware from what I've read. Look how desperate we have become in just 2 years. All these clubs have spent over. I never thought we would go back to these times. So unfortunately, Nkunku can't stay fit. No, I don't think that injury is going to downgrade him long term. No, I think, we just need to focus on him getting fully fit, smash pre-season, and then have a good have a good pre-season and hit the ground running next season. It is unfair to judge the manager when he has no tools to compete with. How are we supposed to compete with under 21s? I wouldn't say he's got no tools to compete with, but he's not had a full toolbox. If we're going to go down the route of that analogy, I don't think he's had a full toolbox to compete with. Too many players have been out injured. Not once have we been able to call on anywhere near a fully fit squad. Not once have we been able to field what people would generally perceive to be our strongest starting 11. And that does make a big difference. These are not excuses. These are facts. These are facts. Looks like Man United and Chelsea interested. Yeah. Luis Campos is going to stay at PSG. Aranyak's Austrian manager at the moment. Paul Mitchell at Monaco is a possibility. Michael Edwards has gone back to Liverpool. So out of those names, Paul Mitchell's the only one that would be a possibility, and I wouldn't say no to that. No idea. No, mate, I'm not. I'm actually missing a game at Stamford Bridge for the first time in a long time. I've been struck down with the flu over the last few days, and I still don't feel 100%. So I'm having to give this one a miss. But I'll be back on. I'll be back at Leicester. I'll be at the Leicester game on Sunday, mate. So hopefully I'll see you there. We have tools to work with. He's just no. Look, we do have tools to work with, and you could absolutely make the case that he is not making the most of those tools. That is absolutely fair, and I think that is a legitimate conversation to have. Absolutely. But look, obviously, it's going to be difficult, guys. Let's make no mistake about it. It's going to be, you're at a point now where the manager starts going for the fans in this sort of way, and you've got to think, yeah, it feels like the beginning of the end, and we're kind of just waiting for the inevitable to happen. That's what it feels like, that we're waiting for the inevitable to happen. But I don't know. I want to believe he can turn it around, because I want this manager to work out. I don't want Chelsea to keep constantly chopping and changing managers and keep starting again with this project. I don't want that to keep happening. So I do want him to turn it around, and I do want him to be a success, because ultimately all I want is for Chelsea to do well. And do I believe he can turn it around? My belief is wavering on that, given the evidence that we've got so far on him and what he's done this season. But there is still stuff to play for. There is the FA Cup, and we can still qualify for Europe via the league. That's not gone. That hasn't gone yet. So there is still stuff to play for. But ultimately, we have to start picking up results as quickly as possible, starting tonight. But this is a must-win game. A must-win game tonight. Absolutely no denying it. No denying it at all. There's no denying it. So we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see what happens on that front. What are people saying in the chat? Poch and these owners are trying to gaslight us. When they were trying to buy the club, they talked big. 2 years in and our club is turning into a mediocre club. No one's saying to accept it, but there needs to be a realization of the situation that we're currently in. Yeah, I would agree on that front. No, bro, I'm not at a game tonight because I've had the flu the last few days and I still don't feel that great. So I won't be at the game, but I will be posting a match reaction video on the channel after the game. So make sure you do stay tuned for that. Well, not mathematically it's gone, but I can't see it happening. Well, let's wait and see. We need a synchronization. The sporting director, CEO, and manager have to decide our style of play first. Then, together with the scouting team, we bring the right players. Yeah, look. Ultimately, you would, if you're going to replace, if you're going to replace a manager, you ideally want to get a sporting director in first to pick that manager. And you can't trust the current sporting directors to pick the manager when they've got so many of them wrong. It's clear the owner's project is not working. The sporting director find a coach who doesn't fit these players. I actually agree that this squad isn't really a good fit for Pochettino. I think that's a fair thing to say. Yeah, okay, yeah. At the time, you see, like, yeah, a load of young players. You think that's great for Pochettino. He's got a good track record of developing youngsters. But I actually don't think that the squad is well suited to him. I really don't. I really don't think it is that well suited to him. A must win. Where have we had that before this season? Only for a disappointing result. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'd like to think that we'd get a reaction from the Brentford game, and we would do slightly better. But maybe I'm wrong. We're needing a 1 in a million sort of manager to make what we currently have work. Yeah, bro, I think you're spot on. Not all the signings not been good enough, but yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on with what you say. The manager is becoming a scapegoat, like Potter was, like Lampard was, like Tuchel was. And they're hiding behind managers to cover up subpar recruitment. Not all of it's been bad, by the way. They've made some very good signings, but a lot of these signings are either not going to play for Chelsea or they're going to turn out to not be good enough. And that in itself is a major problem, people. Major problem. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. No, I don't think so either. If we sack Pochettino, they have to get the next appointment right. Yeah, for sure they do. Yeah, the new Malagusto chant is good. What do you make of the protests on the Strasbourg fans against the new owners? Yeah, Strasbourg are a point off the relegation zone in France. Yeah, it's not going well. I think they've every right to feel the way that they do. Their club's been taken over. They were happy with how it was, and now things don't seem to be going particularly well. Remember, Poch started with Chelsea is all about winning. 8 months later, it's a different Chelsea. It's a project. What have you seen to give you confidence? Well, ultimately, the owners aren't going anywhere, so that's irrelevant. Look, I've not seen enough from the manager to give me confidence. I've not seen enough from the manager. The directors have not given me. Excuse me. Directors have not given me any confidence whatsoever that they can do things right and make good decisions. So yeah, we are in a problem situation. Yeah, we do. But when we're competing with other top clubs, and when there's Champions League football on offer, and when you're needing the quality of player that we need, then I don't think we can just solely rely on our pool. That's the reality. I think our sporting directors is also a part of projects like the players. Chelsea see they have potential and hope they'll develop here. No, we can't do anything about it. You are right, but you shouldn't be putting people in important positions in the club where they might be good. In a lot of positions, you need people that are the finished article, ready-made, proven that they can do a good job. You can't have people that are inexperienced and learning on the job in key positions in a massive football club, because that's gonna lead to problems, guys. That is ultimately going to lead you to problems. And that is not what we want. But yeah, let's move away from Poch and his comments. Hopefully, he's not got anything else to say after the game. Let's just hope for a nice, straightforward victory, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's move into some other news then. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to bring this up because I think this is a fair point. We talk about the present not being great at Chelsea, and I get that. It's not great. But I agree with this. There's a whole bunch of people running around and acting as if Chelsea players are already at their finished product, and they're forgetting how ridiculously young the team is. More game time experience, literally growing up as humans still to come. Look at this here, right? So 20 years old, Gusto Chukwuemeka-Lavia. 21, Palmer, Colwell, Cassidy. 22, Caicedo, Badiashile, Jackson, Madueke. 23, Enzo, Fofana, Mudryk. Not to mention Washington 18, Angelo and Santos 19. If you can't be excited for the prospect of this group and think it was all just a waste of money, I can't help you. I agree with that. I do agree with that. If you can't be excited about this group of players and the potential that is there, then that is a you problem. There's no getting away from it. That is a you problem if you can't get away from it. I am excited about this group of players, but ultimately that doesn't address the now. It doesn't address the now. It doesn't address the now. That is the reality. No, I absolutely agree with that. I agree with that. I've not once said that he is not a problem. His coaching's not been good enough. He is part of the reason why we are where we're at. I'm not absolving him of blame. Not one bit whatsoever. Absolutely, his coaching and his tactics have not been good enough, and are a big part of the reason why we're at where we're at. But it's not the only reason or the main reason why we're at where we're at. No, they're not helping us. I don't know if most of those players haven't been that good. There's a lot of development to do there. Gusto's been exceptional. I think Jackson's been pretty good. Colwell's been good. Palmer we know about. Look, I think that there's a lot to be excited about with a lot of these players. So I don't worry so much about the future, but I do certainly worry about the present and being able to develop these players to become as good as we all think they can become. Players never stop learning in their careers. Well, you'd like to think not. Let's be honest here. Chelsea haven't performed for the last 2 seasons. Do you really think Chelsea are good enough? Yeah, I think we are good enough to win tonight. I personally think it will be a draw because what I've seen in recent weeks doesn't fill me with confidence that we can win this game. But we can absolutely win this game tonight. We're good enough to win this game. Look, I think it's fair to say that a lot of us don't know what Chelsea team are going to turn up, and it's hard to know. I fully appreciate that and fully get that. But yeah, no, we are good enough to win tonight. Whether we will or not is a different question, but the quality is there to win tonight. Few seasons, do you think Chelsea will finish above Spurs and Arsenal? Maybe. Let's hope so. I trust my eyes. A lot of these players are nowhere near Chelsea standard. I think it's fair to say that some of them absolutely aren't. And of course, the eye test can't be beaten. We know that, and there definitely are players that will turn up not to be good enough for Chelsea. But I also believe that there's a lot of talent in this group, and there are a lot of players to be excited about. Yeah, it's been a disappointment because he's not been fit. It's been a major disappointment. It's been disastrous for the young players that we've sent on loan this season. I mean, Angelo's done all right, to be fair. But yeah, Andre Santos, we've essentially just wasted a year of his development. If I'm on the Chelsea board, I'm firing both Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley and setting course the next 3 months from the elite appointment as sporting director. Yeah, I hear you on that. If we constantly sit around mid-table, those young guys that we're developing could be allured by other clubs. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree on that. But I don't think we honestly think, guys, that we're going to be struggling around mid-table next season as well. I mean, none of us know how long this is going to take for us to get back to where we want to be. But I do agree. I do think there is a lot to be excited about in this squad. There is. There's a lot of players that are exciting players. There's a lot of players that have played well. There's a lot of players that will continue to get better. I think we all are. He's played half an hour of football this season, and he's been injured the whole time. So yeah, I think we've got every right to be disappointed. United are almost as bad as us, but somehow they're so lucky to get goals out of nowhere. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree that United have been lucky this season. They get a tremendous amount of luck, which has been missing for us. There's no denying that. But yeah, guys, keep running the likes up. How many likes are we on now? I haven't checked for a while. 58 likes. Guys, 83 still in the building. Let's get this to 70, 80 likes as quickly as possible. Keep smashing that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. All that good stuff, people. I want to finish in the Champions League spot next season if we won't challenge for the title. No, we've got to focus on becoming a top 4, top 6 team again. That's where we've got to get to next. Right now, we're a mid-table club. We need to focus on getting back to being a top 4/top 6 team, and then we can look at building from there. But I just wanted to bring this up because I do think it's a fair point. I do see a lot of people saying that like it's all doom and gloom at Chelsea, as if the players are already at their peak levels. And that just isn't the case. So I just wanted to bring that up because I do think that's a good point. I do believe that to be a good point. What else are we going to be talking about, people? Let's talk about this because we had the co-founder of the Rain Group speaking. And look, we think it's bad now, right? And it is, and it's not great at all. But according to the Rain co-founder, Joe Ravitch, if we hadn't got the deal done by the time we did, Chelsea would have probably gone into liquidation. There would have been catastrophic consequences. We forcibly boiled bidders into 4 separate consortia and crafted what we hoped would be the best deal, which would maximize the value to the charitable foundation that was being set up and maximize investment in the club. All 4 groups we felt would be good owners. We think it's bad now, and it is bad, and it's not great. But let's be honest, guys. This club could have ceased to exist, and I think we would all prefer this situation than the club having gone into liquidation. I don't think a lot of people realise how precarious the situation was at Chelsea. I think a lot of people really didn't realise that, and we could have been in a situation where we were facing the prospect of Chelsea not existing anymore, which is quite a mad thing to say when you say that. A really, really mad thing to say. It's a mad one. Like, I couldn't imagine Chelsea not existing, or you'd have some sort of Phoenix club where we go down to the bottom of the divisions and we have to try and work our way back up again. I mean, that might have been fun for sure. But yeah, let's be real, guys. Let's be real. I'd much rather this situation than the club not existing anymore. That's not what we're wanting here. That is not what we're wanting here at all. So yeah, that's the reality. Our top 3 priorities should be fire the current sporting directors and hire best possible replacement, get another physio and club doctor and get the medical staff nailed down, and hire Poch's replacement. I'll be real. I think only one thing could possibly happen, and that's the manager being replaced. I don't see any of the other stuff happening. I really don't. This ownership are definitely determined to make this work with Mauricio Pochettino. Obviously, he has to get results and stuff, but they are determined to make it work with him. They really are, guys. They really are. And I think it would take defeat tonight, defeat in the FA Cup, for something to change. That's my thought. Who do I support if Chelsea didn't exist? I just go local. Probably support fucking QPR round the corner from them. So yeah, I'll probably support QPR. If we don't get Europe next season, we're cooked. I don't think we're cooked, but it will be there's no denying it will be a major problem if we don't get Europe next season. Honestly, Chelsea, we are at the moment, the table doesn't lie. Yeah, no, we are a mid-table club right now. We are. But all I'm saying is, guys, that it could have been a lot worse. We could have been fucking out of business. And not existing. And as much as people like to talk about all this, about Chelsea and it's all negative, no one wants the club to have disappeared. So yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. So yeah, that's the reality, people. That is the reality. So I'm glad that we're still in existence. UK government and the Rain Group, which are we going to go with? American owners. it hadn't been these, it would have been the Ricketts family. Yeah, I'm forgetting who else was even in the running. It was the Ricketts, obviously the Rain Group. It was that geezer that was like part owner of the Boston Celtics or something, I think. Yeah, I actually can't remember now. It's got to be trying to get back into the Champions League. It has to be. Simple as that. Yes, big up to the Dearest Devil for the donation. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully the Blues can get a win tonight. That would be ideal, people. That would be ideal. That's the big question. I don't know. I don't know is the honest answer to that. It doesn't look like it at this point in time. I'd like to think that a few exceptions would potentially be made, but again, there are no guarantees on that. There are no guarantees on that. The UK government and the Rain Group were always going to go with American owners if it hadn't been these owners. I don't know. They're always going to go with American owners. I'm trying to think what other people were available, and I can't remember. But yeah, it's important to remember, guys, that despite the shit we're in, Chelsea might not even be in existence. If things have been a bit different. So yeah, I think we've got to be grateful. We do have to be grateful. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Let me just see what else is going on, people. Let's have a look. Oh, there's been more saying here. Clearly, since Todd took over, there have been some player judgment issues with regard to on-pitch performance, but he's trying. He wants Chelsea to win. I think he'll help restore greatness to Chelsea too. And this is one thing that I did want to just briefly cover, is that this idea that people think that this ownership don't want to win. Of course they want to win. These guys want to win. They want to make money. Of course they want to make money. And the quickest way to make money in football is by winning. So let's make no mistake about it. These guys want to win. No successful businessmen don't want to win. Successful businessmen want to be successful time and time again. So you can criticize the owners for a lot of things, but people that say, oh, these guys don't want to win, it's a nonsense. You don't buy a football club and not want to win. They want to be a success. They want returns on their investment. Like, the quickest way to get that is by winning. So I just want to say that whatever you think of the owners, and they've got a lot of things wrong and have rightfully been criticised. One thing you can't say is that they don't want to win, because they have spent huge amounts of money. They've shown, they've shown huge levels of ambition with the spending they've done and the players they've bought in. So this idea that people think they don't want to win is an utter nonsense in my opinion, complete and utter nonsense. Grateful for a corrupt government sanctioning our club and forcing our owner out. Never will forget that. No, I don't think. Roman chose these owners, or he certainly recommended them. We couldn't have had Ratcliffe because he didn't follow the process properly, and the Saudi media group were never put an official bid together. Should Lampard be sporting director? Yeah, I mean, if Lampard wants to be sporting director, I think he'd be a fantastic sporting director. He really would be. He's got a very good eye for talent ID. That is exactly the sort of thing that he would be doing. Every owner wants to win. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Look, Boris Johnson left Arsenal and Tottenham. We were stolen by a hot shit. I don't know who Boris Johnson supports. Clear example are the Glazers of United. Yeah, all owners want to win. They all want to win. He didn't have zero say in the sale. The bid had to be approved by the government. Yeah, it had to be approved by the government, but they didn't have a say in it, or they didn't pick the owners. But no, he wasn't in control. Yeah, they do. That's not gone anywhere. The money's still sat in a frozen bank account. So yeah, I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know where that is. But yeah, that's certainly an interesting one. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Let's move on to a couple of other things, guys. Very briefly, Chelsea are in talks with a couple of new companies over some potential new sponsors, shirt sponsors for next season. Obviously, we know Infinite Athlete is just for this season. Chelsea are in talks with Riyadh Air, which we know about, but apparently the 60 million deal that they're looking for with Riyadh Air is going to be impossible without Champions League football. So the likely qualification of European Cups, especially the UCL, makes negotiations difficult, but also in talks with the Bank of America, who have had stuff to do with the Dodgers before, and also in talks with Malaysia Airlines, who have been commercial partners of Liverpool in the past, and an Asian company about becoming the shirt sponsor for next year. Talks of as well over a possible Jordan deal have been put on hold until the end of the season, but they do require Europa League football at a minimum. So yeah, there's a few options for the Chelsea shirt sponsor next season, people. A few options there. There's still guys, there's still 79 in the building. Big yourselves up. 65 likes. Let's try and get this to 80 likes if we can. Another 15 on the board. Let's keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. And please keep subscribing to the channel as well, guys. If you are new round here, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. What else is going on? Let's have a look if any new shit is coming through. Let's have a look what else is coming through. I don't know what else we've got going on here. What else is going on? Look at Pice's latest tweet. I think I've already seen that. Have I seen that? Well, Pochettino, if you compare the past where you are in a different product, people need to understand. I tried to explain. I talk. I move my mouth, but you don't hear. I can understand his frustrations, and I actually don't think anything he said is necessarily wrong there. I'm so ashamed. Poch's our manager. So ashamed. His quotes. I don't think they're embarrassing at all. I think a lot of what he says is true. Yeah, okay, people might not like it, and he's seemingly taking the fans on, but yeah, you know, I don't think they're embarrassing or disgusting. I don't agree with that. Again, the club didn't go for 4.25. I think that that includes a commitment to spend like an extra billion doing on players and the stadium and things like that. No, probably not. I'm probably going to go for another 15 minutes or so. If the lineup drops, then great. If not, then no problem. Not going to lie, Lampard does have an eye for talent. Wouldn't be too upset if he was given the keys. Yeah, no, I agree on that. I don't think fans forced out Havertz. Havertz wanted to go. That was a deal that worked well for everyone involved. Jorginho wanted to leave. He was going to go on a free at the end of the season, so we got 12 million from him instead. These owners bought Chelsea because of the brand prestige. Now they're slowly turning us into the butt of all jokes. I think we'll get back. I think we will get back. Blaming Pochettino for everything. He talks like his tactics, but he didn't ask us to sell the entire team for kids. No, you can't blame Pochettino for everything. You absolutely can't. That is abundantly clear. You can't blame him for everything. He's trying to explain we are no longer a win now club. No, we're not a win now club anymore. I think Poch needs a highly athletic, high tempo team. The players we recruited aren't that. They are technical players. Not saying I want sorry, but he'd be an example of a technical guy. Yeah, I think it's fair to say the squad is not a great fit for Pochettino. I think that's fair. I have all your solutions. Fire the Stuart and Winstanley. Edwards has gone to Liverpool. That deal's done, so he's not coming. We could bring back Eva Canero. Yeah, sure. But yeah, these are the options we've got as potential shirt sponsors for next season. Riyadh Air, unlikely due to the Champions Leagues. Bank of America, maybe Malaysia Airlines. But let's see what comes from that. But just a little update on that. Little update on potential shirt sponsors for next season. What else have we got going on? A couple of links with some managers as well. Even though Pochettino is still in the job, the reports have been gathering pace that Chelsea are looking for a new manager, or they've certainly been starting the process of looking for a new manager. So there have been links with Michel, the Spanish manager, Girona'S manager, who are having a very good season. I think they're still second in La Liga. Girona manager Michel Sanchez has had an important offer on the table from Chelsea, who are not satisfied with the work of Pochettino. Chelsea leaders travelled to Spain recently to convey to Michel firsthand their desire to have him, but he wants to continue at Girona. I don't know how true that story is. He's having a very good season, clearly a good manager, but he's obviously part of the City group. I wonder if he's thinking, if I stay in the City group, maybe I might have a chance of being the next Man City manager when Pep eventually calls it a day. They should be in the Champions League next season. Girona, he might fancy having a go at managing with them in the Champions League. It's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, it's not someone that I would have thought about. He's a good manager. They're having an exceptional season, Girona, but it's not someone I look at and I'd think, do you know what? That he would be someone that I want to have. I don't know enough about him, if I'm being brutally honest. It's clear that it's just going to be, another project manager. That's the reality of the situation, guys. It is going to be another project manager. It's not going to be an elite level sort of manager that people are looking for. We will be back for sure. If Poch goes, who would I want? The list is not great. If I had to pick someone, I probably would go with Ruben Amorim. But look, there's not a great deal of choice. We're not going to get sort of an elite level manager. It will be another one of those project managers. And for me, if I had a choice, I probably would say Ruben Amorim. Politics is always intertwined with sport, unfortunately. Hansi Flick, but only with the written agreement that we will get rid of the... to be honest, I don't really rate Hansi Flick that much. The next one has got to be right. I wish we still had players like Hazard, Crespo and Robin. Yeah, it would be brilliant, wouldn't it? See how great Enzo and Caicedo were before they joined us. Now some of our fans are shitting on them, and that's largely because Poch is able to get the best. Yeah, look, Enzo and Caicedo are both top players. Poch has not set the midfield up in the best way to try and get the best out of them. I absolutely agree on that. No two ways about it. But yeah, look, I think it's, these guys are good players, and I think they'll be a very good partnership for Chelsea. No elite manager will come here. Again, I don't know enough about Michel, but look, it's gonna be hard to get a top manager to come to Chelsea. That's the reality, particularly with the level of jobs that are going to be available this summer, and a lot of them are more attractive than the one at Stamford Bridge. That's the reality of the situation, guys. That is absolutely the reality of the situation. In my ideal world, it would be sick if we had Maldini as the director and Inzaghi as a manager. It would never happen, though. No, it wouldn't. But who would you like as a new manager? I've already answered that. But yeah, look, obviously, apparently we're looking at Michel, but I don't really know how true that is. But we've been linked with a load of managers recently. We've been linked with, obviously, De Zerbi, Amorim, Michel now. I've seen possibilities of Hansi Flick, possibilities of Eddie Howe are seen mentioned in a report somewhere. So yeah, of course, there's going to be loads and loads of names. But yeah, it's right that there's a succession plan. It's important. Even if you're planning to keep the manager, you need to be thinking about the future and what the idea would look like if the manager goes. No, bro, I've had the flu for the last few days, and I feel a lot better, but I'm still not 100%. I don't feel well enough to go to the football. So yeah, I'm just doing a little stream now, and then I'll be watching the game from home, and then there'll be a match reaction video posted on the channel afterwards. Yeah, so it's the first time that I missed the game at the Bridge in a long time. Poch to take us opportunities like today. We have a game in hand, and if we win the next two league matches, we could go from 11th to 8th. Yeah, look, we're not far off 7th place. We're not far off 7th at all, but it is going to require us to start winning a few games of football. Yeah, we need to move forward. But yeah, Michel been linked with Chelsea supposedly. Let's wait and see if anything comes of that. I'd be shocked if maybe under Ineos it might be, but I think look, Man United is a massive football club. Massive football club, and look, it's a bigger club than Chelsea, and it'd be a more attractive. It's a bigger job than the Chelsea job. I think that's a fair thing to say, as much as I hate to say it. He absolutely will be. No, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. But yeah, let's move away from that. And we have Ben Jacobs today saying that Thomas Tuchel. There's been quite a few reports about Tuchel having unfinished business at Chelsea and wanting to possibly return. But Ben Jacobs has been saying that Tuchel still feels hurt by his Chelsea exit, which I think is fair. He was sacked because he wasn't deemed a strategic or personality fit. I can definitely see that being the case. Egbali would have to change his mind on him. So Bowley, I don't think, has got a problem with Tuchel. Egbali is the one that clearly doesn't particularly like him and was perhaps maybe more of a driving force behind the decision to get rid of him. Tuchel coming back, I think, is just a pipe dream for a lot of people. It's a nice romantic story, but if you actually thought about the reality of it, the squad wouldn't work with him. He falls out with too many players. He falls out with too many people above, and his time's done. His time is done. I think Tuchel's chapter at Chelsea is done. It doesn't make sense for him to come back as manager. I'm not really sure. You know what? Yes, he gets it and he understands Chelsea and he had that massive connection and affiliation with the fans. I absolutely get that, but I don't see how. For me, bringing him back doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't serve a purpose. I don't understand it. Barcelona job will be available. Man United job. I think there's more chance of him going to Man United than there is of him coming back to Chelsea. I think him coming back to Chelsea, there is virtually zero chance in my opinion. Virtually zero chance. I just don't think it makes any sense. I've said my piece on Tuchel a number of times. Love him for what he's done at Chelsea and for what he did. He just gets it. He was exceptional for us, but it doesn't make any sense to bring him back. It really doesn't. He played some great stuff at times. League football was dire. That's the reality. That is the reality. So that wouldn't make sense whatsoever, in my opinion. I think people just need to relax on that one. Absolutely relax on that one. Would you take Xavi as the next manager? No, probably not. Probably not. If TT comes back, it would make me change my tune a little bit on the owners. It would be them admitting they were wrong. Well, that's exactly why it won't happen, brother, because they're not going to admit that they were wrong. No, this is not a watch long. No, it's not. I can't believe Arsenal fans say Havertz better than Cole Palmer. Yeah, well, you know what Arsenal fans are like. Do you think that Chelsea are having a board has destroyed our process? Well, every club's got a board, but too many people have a say equates to them being ineffective. I think it's absolutely fair to say that there's probably too many people involved in decision making, and that process could definitely be streamlined. I think 100% that is fair. If Tuchel wins Champions League with Bayern, would you say they're saying that he is not fit for our club? I'm not saying he's not fit for the club. I'm just saying that his time at Chelsea is done, in my opinion, and the way that the club is right now wouldn't be conducive to someone like Tuchel working there. To realize, apart from the Champions League, TT has not won more than Poch. He's not a serial winner. No, he's not. He knows how to win, but he's not. He absolutely isn't a serial winner. I totally agree on that. But yeah, look, I think all this Tuchel back to Chelsea is just about trying to get him you know, back in the shop window as a manager. There's some big jobs available this summer. You know, there's no desire that he wants to return to the Premier League. But as I said, I think there's more chance of him ending up at Man United than there is him coming back to Chelsea. Yeah, they will. They will at some point. We'll be back at some point as well. You know, football's cyclical. It does like, you know, teams have their time. Right now, it's not our time currently, but we will be back there. And unfortunately, I think Man United at some point will get it right as well under Ineos. Yeah, you know, big clubs don't stay in the doldrums forever. You know, like we will be back at some point. I don't know when that point is going to be, but we absolutely will be back, guys. We will be back, and we will all be there when we are. We will all be there when we are. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It is going to be a tough one. You know, we might have to ride the storm out a little bit. It's going to be very, very difficult. I don't know. It depends on what players they are, what squad they have. But yeah, it would obviously be a massive coup for Man United, I think, if they could get Thomas Tuchel, for sure. No, what the point is, if you're calling it a McDonald's Cup, then you have to discount. If you're trophies are trophies, you know. You know, PSG, if you're discounting PSG trophies and you can't count Tuchel's trophies at PSG either, yeah, okay, you want a German Cup at Dortmund, but yeah, before they went to Chelsea, that was the only difference between the two managers. Chelsea better be back for my men's. Yeah. I don't know, what cups did Potter win? Must have won something in Sweden, I suppose. Guys, 4 likes away from 80. Keep smashing the like button. Let's get this to 80 likes, people, and then yeah, that would be a massive target to hit. Let's get that 80 likes, people. Keep smashing the like button. It's free. Takes seconds. There are academy talents in the squad tonight, so that could be exciting. There could be some young players that, you know, we're going to get a glimpse of for the first time that perhaps we weren't expecting to see. I hope so, mate. I hope so. No, this is not a watch along. I'm going to be rounding this one out in a couple of minutes. Yeah, this is not a watch along, just to confirm. But yeah, guys, I think that is pretty much everything. Team news will be dropping in 15 minutes. Let's wait and see. Just want to bring a quick stat up on Cole Palmer, and Arjen Robben. It's a quick one here. Cole Palmer has been directly involved in 17 goals in his last 18 Premier League appearances for Chelsea, 10 goals, 7 assists. Palmer's last assist against Brentford took him ahead of Arjen Robben in the 2004-05 season to give him the most goals and assists combined by a player aged 21 or younger in a season in the Premier League for Chelsea. Keeping some quite elite company there. Cole Palmer, Arjen Robben. Yes. Academy players, no fear. Yep, true. I'd imagine I'll be going to that game. I don't know when it is yet, but let's hope so. Yes, let's go. Insecure fans who are afraid of TT conquering the world with United. He's a cup manager. I think, yeah, I would agree he's a cup manager. I don't think he's a shit manager, but I think it's fair to say that he's a cup manager. He just struggled with the consistency required for the Premier League. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to round this one out here. I'm going to get ready to settle into the game. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Thanks for being here. It's good to be back. And yeah, I've enjoyed it. So people, on the way out, smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yes, there will be a match reaction video after the game. It won't be live, but I will record something. So yeah, there will be a match reaction video after the game. So stay tuned for that one. Big up to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Thanks for getting involved in the chat as always. Cheers to people that donated. It's greatly appreciated. It's good to be back, people. Let's hope Chelsea can get a much needed win tonight. And I'll be back with a live stream tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned for the match reaction video. Smash the likes on the way out, guys. Subscribe if you're new around here. Let's hope that the Chelsea can win tonight. And I'll catch you guys again soon. Up the Chelsea and peace out.